Fellas, AC here. Welcome to another review. It's been absolutely impossible for me to do reviews recently because of work, but I'm back and here is a fragrance which I really want to tell you all about. This is called Hanae Mori Him EDT. This fragrance or fragrances like this are extremely rare, right? Because this is super creative. It smells absolutely amazing and it doesn't cost a lot of money. So let's start. This was released back in 2012, autumn, and this is autumn in a bottle. It's like walking through a beautiful autumnal landscape on a bright and beautiful day or even moonlit autumn evening. It's a beautiful scent. So I'm almost out. This is where the fragrance is. I got this back in 2015 and I paid very little money, but I'll come to all of that. First, I'll tell you about the fragrance. I've already got it dry down here. So when you first spray, it reminds you of YSL Tuxedo. It has this violet leaf note mixed with bergamot, orange, and spicy elements. So slightly bitter as well because there's a healthy dose of patchouli which comes up. But that is spicy greenness rather than earthiness. So violet leaf, the smell, if you have never smelled violet leaf, think of Fahrenheit. That's the fragrance which made violet leaf so popular. And then mixed with obviously the bergamot and the peppery spiciness of patchouli, and immediately within about 5 to 10 seconds you start to smell the spices. It's a very spicy fragrance, right? So masculine, slightly spicy, slightly resinous. That's what I get in the opening. And the spices are cinnamon, cardamom, black pepper, right? And the most dominant note of those spices is cinnamon. And that's why it smells like autumn in a bottle. It's a beautiful, beautiful opening. And you don't get such openings from designer fragrances nowadays. It's just amazing. The fragrance develops slowly and it brings in a note of fig tree. Fig tree note is woody and green. Okay, so imagine all the notes I talked to you about, all the spices, the violet leaf, which is again green, masculine, sort of a slightly bitter note, and mix it with patchouli, and now comes in warmth, amber. Very nice synthetic amber. So slightly sweet as well. Sweetness creeps in a little bit later, and then it becomes creamy. So the party is just ongoing, After that beautiful cardamom and cinnamon and black pepper and the spiciness comes in, a fabulous note of amber, and then you have dryness of cedar, right? There are 3 big notes here, woody notes. Fir balsam, teak wood, cedar, and fig tree, 4 woody notes. And then there comes creaminess of tonka. So many things, such a complex creation. And this fragrance is absolutely delightful. It draws comparison to some of the most legendary fragrances. I mentioned the opening reminds me of YSL Tuxedo, only the opening. Then you have Gucci Pour Homme 2. I don't get the similarities to Gucci Pour Homme 2, but people talk about Gucci Pour Homme 2 when you mention this fragrance. Gucci Pour Homme 2 has a very beautiful black tea note. I don't get the tea bit here. I get mostly green fig, which can sometimes, mixed with amber and cardamom, give off a little tea-like vibe. I get that tea vibe, the black tea vibe, not something which has been prepared, something which has been boxed. So opening a box, a wooden box of black tea, I get that little vibe of it. So I can see why people compare this to Gucci Pour Homme 2 a little bit. And then it is compared to Moustache. Moustache can't hold a candle to this. Moustache EDP, which is very popular, and it's compared to YSL Tuxedo. Moustache EDP cannot hold a candle to this fragrance. This is so good. Okay? And I'm saying this from experience. Almost 50 ml gone. So that's the fragrance. It's an absolutely amazing fragrance with so many amazing notes. It's almost borderline niche when it comes to complexity and combination of so many odd notes working all together. Almost borderline niche. That's how good this fragrance is. Now, upsides and downsides. Number one upside has to be the sheer composition, quality, and blending. As I said, borderline niche. This is the experience. This is the kind of experience you would get from a niche fragrance. Yeah. So amazing quality, amazing blending of notes. It's amazing. The fragrance quality is absolutely amazing. Number two, the fragrance is created with one season in mind, and that's autumn. If you want to find your autumn holy grail, I highly recommend you test this fragrance. The third one is the sheer quality of this fragrance. The fragrance smells premium quality. You smell this fragrance and you think, yes, this is very high quality fragrance. Yeah. Number four, value for money. Terrific value for money. These kind of fragrances are so far in between, so far and few in between, that you have to really have the patience of a saint to find a fragrance like this. A stunning fragrance. So those are the four upsides. Downsides. Projection. This fragrance is almost intimate. It stays very close to your skin, and it's frustrating at times because it smells so beautiful, and when you can't smell it yourself, it kind of frustrates you. But when you spray it on your shirt and you're on your skin and you're smelling it once in a while, you just delighted. This is delightful. But the performance can be a little bit of a problem. Projection, sillage, low sillage. So that is the only frustrating bit I can think of, right? Value for money. Let's talk about value for money. When I bought this in 2015, I paid £19 for 50 ml. I checked on eBay. Currently in the UK, it's very strong at the moment. Currently in the UK, this goes for roughly 29 to 35 pounds, 50 ml. So this is not cheap, but still, bearing in mind whatever I mentioned in terms of notes, this is a stunner, right? And for the money you're paying, you're getting a lot more. You don't get these kind of fragrances for designer price range. It's just amazing. It also has a very tangy feel to it. It's not only a little bit sweet, it also has a little sort of balsamic tangy feel to it. Fantastic fragrance. Seasons. One season that works beautifully for this fragrance is autumn. It also works beautifully summer evening or spring, but not enough legs for winter. But for me, this is an autumn scent. Compliment factor. This is a very warm, cozy, spicy smell. So the best time to wear this would be when you're with your girlfriend or with your wife. So compliment factor, definitely. It's so smooth, so elegant. Masculine, yet not overbearing. Yeah, this is one of those fragrances which basically is symbolic of a modern man. Empathetic, masculine, not overbearing, yet extremely elegant. Yeah, so compliment factor very high if you're in a romantic date type situation, or you're just taking your wife out for a meal, or you're just cozying up and watching television. It's a very warm, inviting scent, right? One downside I should have mentioned is lack of variability or versatility. This is a fragrance that I said works beautifully in autumn. Other seasons, not so sure, because it doesn't have projection and because it smells so delightfully wonderful. You might feel high and dry in most situations, apart from date or cozying up to your wife or your girlfriend. Yeah. So lack of versatility is one other downside. Age groups. I'd say 25, 30 plus, or if you have taste which resonates with the notes I mentioned, you might want to try it. It's a brilliant fragrance, honestly, if you don't mind the projection or lack of it. So 25 plus would be amazing. 30 plus maybe. Value for money is terrific. I think I've covered all aspects. How many marks? I've thought about this one. This is a very high quality, creative, masterfully blended fragrance with one problem, and that is projection. And it really is frustrating because whenever I wear this, I have to do this. Otherwise, I can't smell it. And it smells so divine, so beautiful. Excuse me. So marks out of 10, slightly frustratingly, I'm going to give it a 7. This is a 7 out of 10 in spite of all those highlights I told you. One thing which really dampens the mood for me is that I can't smell it unless I pull my wrist right up to my nostrils and take a deep breath, and it really cheers me up. 7 out of 10. Hope you enjoy the review, fellas. Take care. Bye-bye.